Welcome to the Buying and Selling Bitcoin on Kraken for Beginners course. My name is Kieran. I create decentralized finance and cryptocurrency videos. I'm really excited to have you here with me. And let's go over the course content and see what you're going to learn in this course. So we're going to start with what Bitcoin is exactly, a short introduction to the most known and popular digital asset, also known as Gold 2.0. Furthermore, we're going to cover the Kraken exchange, and I'll explain to you why it's one of the most popular exchanges and the best in the industry in terms of security and service. I want to go over some very important trading terminology because that's very useful for when you're on an exchange buying or selling Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies so that you choose the correct settings. And afterwards, I want to show you how you can get verified on Kraken, what steps, what documents you have to upload. I'll show you what kind of security settings, how to activate two-factor authentication so that your account is secure. Then I also want to show how you can put some money onto your account so you can start buying some Bitcoin. Then we'll go over the actual buying and selling Bitcoin on the Kraken exchange using either the simple intermediate or advanced interface. Afterwards, I want to share with you how you can export your trades, maybe for tax purposes or for other software that you might use. I also want to show you how you can look at all the prices of trading pairs and create your own alerts based either on price or volume. You will also learn how you can withdraw your Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies from the Kraken exchange to an external address. Then you will also learn why it's very important to have ownership of your cryptocurrency keys, your Bitcoin keys. There's a famous saying that says, not your keys, not your coins, and you understand why it's very important to move your cryptocurrency off of an exchange onto maybe a hardware wallet or a software wallet. There's a lot of topics I will cover in this course, and if you want to get your feet wet in the world of cryptocurrency, understand a little bit more what Bitcoin is and how you can buy and sell your first Bitcoin, then this course is definitely for you, and I'm sure you'll find it valuable. So I'm looking forward to having you on this course with me, and I'll see you in the next section. What is Bitcoin? A short introduction to the most popular digital asset, also known as Gold 2.0. So at its simplest form, Bitcoin is a virtual currency. You cannot touch it, not like money, paper money or coins. You cannot touch Bitcoin. It's virtual. Like many of the current fiat assets, Euro, USD, Swiss francs, a large portion of those fiat assets are also digital, and only a small portion are available as coins and paper money. So Bitcoin runs on a peer-to-peer network that guarantees its security and validity. So Bitcoins are sent person to person over the internet without an intermediary. So there's no third party, there's no bank telling one or the other person that they cannot send this money. It's directly from one person to another. And I think that's one of the most valuable aspects of Bitcoin. In 2008, a solution was found to the double spending problem by an anonymous programmer called Satoshi Nakamoto. So Satoshi Nakamoto released a white paper called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system that proposed a system of currency that solved all of these problems. So instead of having a centralized ledger for all the transactions, all the users would have all the transactions at the same time. So on the left-hand side, you've got the centralized ledger where these institutions are sending the information to this centralized authority in the middle. And this authority updates and gets information from one single ledger. However, there's risk that this single ledger gets corrupted, information gets added to the ledger that shouldn't be there. There's no authority or no person to check that all the information in this ledger is actually correct. And the decentralized ledger, what Bitcoin or blockchain is about, well, all the information is updated simultaneously. So, for example, if you add $1 on this ledger, it also gets added on this one, on this one, on this one. And if someone tries to manipulate one of these ledgers, then other ledgers will react and realize that this ledger is not a good ledger anymore. So they're keeping each other in check and making sure that all ledgers are the same. And this is how Bitcoin works because it's based on blockchain and the decentralized ledger technology. So the result of Bitcoin as a form of currency and store of value is a cheaper, easier, and quicker method to spend money. Fees are much lower. It can be used globally. I can have some Bitcoin on my phone. I can go to another country and I can sell it in that country for the local fiat valuation. No one can freeze my wallet. No one can interact with the payments. No one can tell me if I'm allowed or if I'm not allowed to send a payment to another person or to another company. Furthermore, there will only be 21 million Bitcoin in circulation. That would be the total supply. There will not be any more. You cannot just create more Bitcoins. And the fact that there's a limited amount of Bitcoins, there's a limited supply, gives it a lot of value. Now, with many different fiat currencies like euro, US dollars, Swiss francs, the government and the central banks of the different governments can print more or less unlimited amount of money to help the economy go forward. But that means that the different fiat currencies also lose value due to inflation. Now, Bitcoins are generated by anybody using specialized hardware, mining equipment, and a free application that generates Bitcoin. But it does need expensive hardware, and you also need a lot of electricity to mine Bitcoin. And yeah, Bitcoin mining requires the computer to do certain amount of work for each Bitcoin block. You can imagine the computer is trying to solve like hundreds of thousands of Sudoku puzzles, and the computer that manages to solve these Sudoku puzzles the fastest will receive a reward. The reward is paid out in Bitcoin, and the current Bitcoin reward per block is 6.25 Bitcoins, since we just had the Bitcoin halving where the reward from 12.5 was split in half, hence the name halving. So now it's 6.25. The amount that is received as a reward per block is adjusted by the network, and currently 6.25 Bitcoins are rewarded per block, and this halving happens every 4 years. So the next halving will happen in 2024. Now for your Bitcoin can be stored either on an exchange, on a software wallet, or a hardware wallet like the Ledger or the Trezor. The safest option of these three is having a hardware wallet like the Trezor or Ledger. When you transfer Bitcoin, an electronic signature is added with your private key, and after a few minutes, this transaction is verified by a miner, and it's permanently added to the blockchain network, and it cannot be changed. It's immutable. That's another aspect that makes the Bitcoin blockchain very valuable, the immutability aspect of it. In this section, you will learn everything you need to know about market and limit orders. This is very important for when you want to buy and sell Bitcoin on an exchange. Now, even though this course is about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, market and limit orders are not reserved for only the cryptocurrency space. You will find market and limit orders on many different exchanges, be that Forex, ETF, bonds. Many different exchanges also use market and limit orders to let people have different options to buy and sell. It doesn't really matter what kind of market, the prices in the market fluctuate as bidders and askers try and find an equilibrium of the price. And that means the price can go up, it can go down. And depending on how the market is operating, it makes sense to use either a limit order or a market order. So let's explain these two very important order types. There are several order types, but we will only cover the two most important ones, as these are the ones that you will be using most often during your investing journey. So on the left, you've got a trader or an investor, and he can either place a market order or a limit order. So the market order is the one with the clock and the limit order is one with the chart. And it doesn't really matter if he does a market or a limit order. Both of these orders get sent to the exchange, but depending on which one he selected, the exchange is going to interpret it a little bit differently. So we can differentiate both of these order types. I'm going to use the value system. Now, the value system means what a trader or investor values the most. Market order. With a market order, a trader or investor values time a lot more than price. That's why the time icon is a lot larger than the price icon, because a trader or investor that wants to buy using a market order, he wants to buy right now. He doesn't want to wait a long time for his order to fulfill. He doesn't really mind at what kind of price it's being fulfilled. He just wants to have it done right now. That's why he values time a lot more than price. So let's make an example with the buy market order with Trader Bob. So Trader Bob goes onto an exchange, he sees an asset that he likes and he would like to invest in it. This asset might be asset X, and he sees that the price of this asset is rising pretty fast. So he decides, all right, I want to buy this asset and I want to buy it right now. I don't want to wait a few minutes, I don't want to wait an hour, because he sees that the price of this asset is increasing every few seconds. So what he does, he presses on market buy for 100 shares of this stock, or 100 coins for a certain cryptocurrency, and he presses on market buy. Now, since the asset is rising until the exchange fulfills his order, it might be that there's a little bit of a difference between when he pressed on buy and the actual buy price. Since he wanted to just buy right now and not really wait for a certain price. Let's make an example with sell market order. So the principle is the same. Trader Bob goes onto an exchange and he's got stock or asset X, and he maybe made some profit or made some loss and he just wants to exit his position. So he sees that the market is dropping pretty fast. The price of the asset is losing value. So he decides, all right, I have had enough. I don't want this asset anymore. So he places a market sell order on the exchange. And so he presses the button on the exchange and the exchange fulfills the price at maybe $1 less or $2 less, or maybe a few percentage. So in the last section, we looked at market buy and market sell. And you might have noticed that when you press on market buy, there is a little bit of a gap between when you press on the exchange market buy and when you are actually buying. And this gap is called slippage, and you might have a little bit of slippage or you might have a lot of slippage, and this slippage is due to how much liquidity is on that market for that particular stock. So let's make an example. Here below, I'll draw the amount of liquidity that is on an exchange. Maybe it changes. For cryptocurrency exchanges, the cryptocurrency can be traded 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. There are no breaks when trading cryptocurrency, but you might have different amounts of liquidity depending on the time of day that you're trading. So maybe when there's low liquidity, the slippage amount is going to be a lot higher. So when you press the market buy, it's possible that your actual buy price is a lot higher due to low liquidity in the market. That means there's not a lot of sellers that are willing to sell to you this particular stock. So if there's a lot of liquidity in the market, it's possible that when you press the market buy button on the exchange, the slippage is going to be very low. The gap here between the buy and the actual buy price is going to be very small because there's a lot of liquidity in the market and there's a lot of sellers here available to sell to you this particular asset. So a few key things to keep in mind when using market buy and market sell. Make sure that you look at how much liquidity is available for that particular trading pair, especially when you want to sell or buy higher amounts of cryptocurrency or higher amounts of other stocks if you're on other exchanges. It's very important to look at how much liquidity is available. Slippage works the same way when you sell an asset. So here we've got the same example. Market sell, the gap between when you press on sell on the exchange and the actual sell price is called slippage. And the same with when you market buy. The difference in gap, how big this gap is based on the amount of liquidity on the market. Now, you might have heard of the term flash crash. A flash crash very often happens because many sellers are selling at the same price, and that means there are not a lot of buyers available to prop this price up. So what happens is the first seller sells and it reaches maybe this point, and the second seller sells, but since here there are no buyers available, he will start selling here. And then it goes down even more. And then the third seller comes in, and since there's no buyers here, he will start selling at this price here, and it goes down even more. And that's how maybe the third seller is going to create a market sell here, but since there's no liquidity available, only onto here, his actual sell price might be all the way down here. And this gap is then also called slippage. So it's very important, especially in a volatile market with low liquidity, that you don't just start selling a lot of coins when the market is going down very fast, because when the market is going down very fast, it's possible that the gap between when you press market sell and when your order is fulfilled is going to be so massive that you're going to lose a lot of money. In this section, I will cover limit orders. With a limit order, a trader or investor values a price a lot more than time. So what do I mean by that? Well, basically a trader or investor, he wants to buy an asset at a certain price, and he doesn't really mind if he has to wait a few minutes, a few hours, or even a few days. Limit orders. So with a limit order, a trader or investor values price a lot more than time. And to put that into an easier way to, in other words, a trader that uses a limit order wants to buy an asset at a certain price. He doesn't really mind if the asset takes, he doesn't really mind if his order gets fulfilled in a few minutes, a few hours, or even a few days. He is just interested that his limit order is fulfilled at a certain price. Now let's make an example with the buy limit order, again with Trader Bob. Trader Bob would like to buy some stock X, and he believes the price is a bit higher at the moment than you'd like to buy. So he says he would like to buy at a certain price, let's say at $100 and the current price of the asset is maybe at $110. So he hopes that in the next few days or next few weeks, the price of the asset will drop a little bit and maybe reach the level where he put his buy limit order, his order gets fulfilled, and then the price of the asset goes back up. Now the thing is with a buy limit order is you're never really sure if the price of the asset is going to touch your limit order. That's the risk that a trader has to be aware of. So it's possible that Trader Bob puts his buy limit order here at $100 and he hopes that the price is going to go down and touch it. But it's also possible that the price just goes a little bit sideways. It might go a little bit down, but never touches his price level of $100, and then the price goes back up again. So that's a risk that traders need to be aware of. If they place their buy limit order too low, then it's possible that the market never reaches that point. Trader Bob has invested already in an asset and he would like to sell it at a higher price than it currently is. So he sees the price and he believes it's going to go a little bit higher. So he places a sell order maybe at $112 because he believes that the price of the asset is going to go a little bit up and hopefully touch his sell limit order and then go back down again. As with the buy limit order, with the sell limit order, the trader is hoping that the price of the stock will reach this price level of maybe $112. As we mentioned before, we never really know if the market is actually going to hit this price level. It's possible that the price of the stock goes up a little bit and barely misses this price level and goes back down again. If the stock never touches this price level, then this sell limit order never gets fulfilled. So a trader needs to be aware that he shouldn't place his sell limit order too high above the current market price. Otherwise, the risk that his order doesn't get fulfilled is a lot higher. Kraken is available in many different countries all around the world. It's basically worldwide with just a few exceptions. The main deposit method is by wire transfer, but you can also deposit cryptocurrencies and trade with those on the Kraken exchange. There are many different cryptocurrencies. I cover what cryptocurrencies are available on Kraken later on in the video. The platform type is a centralized exchange. It allows fiat to crypto and crypto to fiat. So basically you can buy with maybe US dollars, a euro, you can buy some cryptocurrency, or you can sell cryptocurrency for US dollars, euro, Swiss francs. And it also allows trading between different cryptocurrencies. So you can sell some Bitcoin and buy some Ethereum without having to go through euro first. It allows margin trading. You can trade up to 5x. It's got a built-in wallet. Even though it says here it's not regulated, it isn't officially regulated. What it does have a license, and Kraken is registered as a money service MSB with the FinCEN in the USA and FinTrack in Canada, and also the Kraken Futures also has their license with the Financial Conduct Authority FCA. The minimum deposit to add funds onto Kraken, it varies depending on what kind of cryptocurrency you want to deposit onto Kraken. For Bitcoin, it's 0.0001 BTC, and for USDT, the US dollar stablecoin running on the Ethereum blockchain is 1 USDT. The deposit fees, there are no fees to deposit money onto Kraken. However, there are some withdrawal fees when you want to remove either fiat currency or cryptocurrencies from Kraken. You have to pay a small fee. It varies also from coin to coin. For Bitcoin, it's 0.0005, roughly €2.50. For fiat bank transfer, the withdrawal fee is 9 cents. The trading fees start at 0.16% for maker. So maker is if you're performing a limit buy or sell order, or taker fees 0.26%, and the taker fee happens if you perform a market buy or sell order. Now, with the limits, it depends on what kind of Kraken account you open. The deposit withdrawal is €25,000 daily limit and €50,000 monthly limit, but that can be expanded if you go into a higher section. In the how to get verified for Kraken section of this course. For verification, it's KYC, know your customer. That means you have to provide a form of identification to prove that you are who you say you are. Here's more information about the fees when trading on Kraken. So there's a big difference between the maker and the taker fees. Maker fees are if you're a market maker, that means that you buy and sell using limit orders. A taker fee is someone that is a market taker. That means that you're using market buy and sell orders. Now, very often the maker fees are much lower than the taker fees. So from, like I mentioned before, from 0 to $50,000 US, the maker fee is 0.16% and the taker fee is 0.26%. But if you have a lot more 30-day trading volume, then this fee can go down a lot more. So at 5 million to 10 million trading volume, the maker fee is going to be 0.02%. And the taker fee is 0.12%. At 10 million plus, the maker fee is going to be 0%. So if you're a market maker with 10 million plus in trading volume in 30 days, then you don't pay any maker fees. Kraken has a very comprehensive variety of trading options. What they allow to buy and sell Bitcoin using 6 different fiat currencies. The fiat currencies that are available are US dollars, euro, Great British pounds, Japanese yen, Swiss francs, and Canadian dollars. Now, you also have the possibility to perform crypto trades. Not all cryptocurrency are available for cryptocurrency to cryptocurrency trades, but it's possible with a lot of them. Now, you can also perform some forex trades. That means you can trade some fiat pairs with each other. So you can maybe trade US dollars with euro or euro with Great British pounds. You can also place some invisible orders in the dark pool. That means other traders cannot see your orders. You can margin trade up to 5 times leverage. And you can also earn a crypto using Kraken's best-in-class staking service. Now here's an overview of all the available cryptocurrencies that you can buy and sell on Kraken. You can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can pause the video and look at which cryptocurrencies are available on Kraken. Now the only one that is available for staking at the moment on Kraken is Tezos. When you're on the website, you can click on Create Account to create a new account. Here, add your email address that you would like to use. Select a username. And create a password that is strong but that you can remember. Select your country of residence and click on Agree to the terms of service. And then click on I'm not a robot checkbox. Then click on Create Account. Add the activation key that you received by email in the activation field. Type in the password that you selected before. Then click on I'm not a robot checkbox. And click on Activate Account. Now you need to finish setting up your account. First step you have to do is get verified. So click on Get Verified. Here you've got different verification steps. You've got the starter for low limit, intermediate with high limits, and pro the highest limit. Here you can see the different requirements needed for the starter. You've got full name, email address, primary address, and phone number. For the intermediate account, you've got occupation, government issued ID, proof of residence, and ID confirmation photo. And with the Pro, you've got everything in intermediate, but you also got anti-money laundering verification and financial statements. So if you would like to buy a lot of Bitcoin or Ethereum, then I suggest to go with Pro. Since there are high requirements that you need to fulfill for Pro, for this tutorial, I would suggest that you go with the intermediate account. But if you want to trade with margin trading, then you have to go with a Pro account. So let's continue with the intermediate account. Click on Get Verified. Type in all the information needed. As soon as you've added all the personal information, you can click on Continue. In the Verify step, you need to upload documents to verify your identity. First step is the identification. Take a picture of a driver's license or passport. Select the one that you want. So I select ID card, and here I need to upload the front side of the ID card. Then select a picture of the back side of the ID card. As soon as you've done that, both are uploaded. The second step is a picture of proof of residency. We need either a utility, credit card, or phone bill. I will select bank statement. So I'll upload a picture of a bank statement that I took. As you can see, these documents have been uploaded. I can click on Continue. If you get some errors when uploading the documents, make sure you have the minimum file size and also that your file is not more than 5 megabytes. Furthermore, the image size is not more than 4096 pixels. If you've got one of these issues, that might lead to your file being rejected. Make sure it's only one of these allowed file types extensions, such as JPEG, JPG, or PNG. Click on Continue to finish this verification process, and you see your intermediate account upgrade is currently pending. Kraken will notify you when your account has been verified, and that's how you set up a Kraken account. In this section, you will learn how to secure your account with two-factor authentication. Now, when you're logged in and you haven't performed this two-factor authentication or updated your security settings, you will see this window appear with finish setting up your account. And the third step is to secure your account with two-factor authentication, because that allows your account to be secure, adding an additional level of authentication. Now, if you're not aware of what two-factor authentication is, well, like the name entails, you have to authenticate yourself twice to be able to log into the website. The first authentication method is going to be your password, and the second authentication method is going to be a code on your mobile phone. Now, to be able to finish the secure your account setup, you will need to install an authentication application on your mobile phone. So you have different options. You can either install Google Authenticator on your Android device, or you can install Google Authenticator on an iOS device. You also have the option of installing a third-party software on your mobile phone called Authy. It is also available on the browser, and this will allow you to enable two-factor authentication on your phone. So when you've installed one of these free applications on your mobile phone, then you can proceed and click on Secure Your Account. You will be brought to the security and login screen. Now, this is very, very important, and you have to read this and fully understand it. And as a backup, in case your login 2FA is lost, so if you have your two-factor authentication on your mobile phone and you lose your mobile phone and you lose the special key to activate the two-factor authentication, well, then you have to be able to have a backup, and this backup is the master key. So you have to set up the master key on a separate device. And after you set up this master key, you can enable the global settings lock to prevent your funding 2FA and trading 2FA from being changed if your login is compromised. What does that mean? If someone manages to get your two-factor authentication and your password and they manage to log in to your account and you have the global settings locked, well, then they can't change any of this information. But if the global settings is not locked, it is possible that they remove your two-factor authentication and change your login credentials. Now, under two-factor authentication, you can click on and this will allow you to set up the two-factor authentication. You have the option of using an authenticator app, like I mentioned before. This is a mobile app like Google Authenticator that generates a dynamic 6 to 8 digit one-time password. And this password will have to be input into Kraken to be able to log in. The other option is a hardware authentication device that emits a one-time password when tapped or touched, and that is a YubiKey. We will be continuing the setup with the Authenticator app. Let's click on Setup. If you're an advanced user and you understand what these settings are, then you can click on Change the settings. But I would just keep it like this. I recommend you also to just keep it like this. Click on Next. You will have an Authenticator secret code. You can either add this code manually onto your Authenticator app, or you can use the QR code of your Authenticator app and take a picture of the QR code. Here are all the steps written down again. So you have to install the Authenticator app on your phone, scan the QR code or type in the code manually on your device, write down or save the code in case you lose your device. So this is very, very important. You have to write down this code, put it down on a piece of paper, put it down somewhere where it is safe, because if you lose your phone and you do not have this code, it is very difficult to restore this authentication. So make sure that this code is in a safe place. Furthermore, do not ever share this code with anyone else. This is very important, because if someone has access to this code, they will be able to add it to their own Authenticator app. And if they have your login credentials, they can log into your account using your code that they installed on their app. Open up the Google Authenticator app on your mobile phone, click on the red plus button, and you can click on scan a barcode or enter a provided key. So if you have the key on a piece of paper, you can enter it here manually, but I will go ahead with the scan a barcode. I click on that, the camera app will open. I just need to scan my QR code and it is added to my Google Authenticator app. Kraken two-factor authentication code has been added to my phone, and the 6-digit number will change every minute. So I can take the 6-digit number and add it into the input field under enter the code given by the authentication app. That is 875086. And then I can click on save and a success notification will appear. So now two-factor authentication has been added to my account. For additional security, you can also add the two-factor authentication for funding, trading, and the master key. Now with the master key, it would be good if you add this authentication key to another mobile phone in case you lose your primary mobile phone. In this section, I'll show you how you can log into your Kraken account using the Google Authenticator app that we installed in the previous video. Now log in with your username and password. You'll see a secure sign-in message, and here you will have to add your two-factor authentication PIN, which is a 6-digit number. So open your Google Authenticator app on your mobile phone and type in the 6 digits. In my case, it's 780562. And I quickly check and click on enter. Since the digits were correct, I have been successfully logged into my account. In this section, you will learn how to fund your account on Kraken exchange. So after you've verified your account, sign into your account and click on the funding menu item. You have many different fiat currencies that you can choose from. The various ones are Canadian dollar, euro, pound sterling, Swiss francs, US dollar, and yen. So depending where you live, you will choose your favorite fiat currency. In my case, I would choose deposit euro. Click on deposit. You will see a drop-down menu icon for the deposit method. You can choose various deposit methods. I would choose bank frick, SEPA, wire transfer. And you will have some information. It's important that you read it. Wire transfer, deposit, bank frick, SEPA. And when you scroll down, you will see all the different information that you need to perform this wire transfer, like account name, address, IBAN number, and BIC. What is super important that you use is the reference number. Make sure that when you perform this wire transfer, add this reference number to your wire transfer. Otherwise, Kraken will not be able to associate the funds that you're depositing onto Kraken with your account. So make sure you add it. They also add this important warning below. This code identifies your deposit with your account. Include this code, including Kraken.com, when submitting the wire transfer. So if you do not add this, then the funds will not be deposited on your account, and you will have to contact support. The minimum is €1, maximum is 10 million euros, and the fee is 15 cents. After you've done this, for me, it took around 1 day to perform this wire transfer. I did it yesterday and I deposited €100 onto my Kraken exchange. After you've done that, you can continue to the next video where I will show you how to buy and sell cryptocurrencies using the simple interface. Under the new order tab, you can buy or sell cryptocurrencies using either the simple, the intermediate, or the advanced interface. We will be covering these in the next section. Under the orders tab, you can see your open orders. You can also see your closed orders, the ones that have been cancelled or closed. Under positions, this is for margin or leverage trading. You see all open positions. You see the order type, the pair, the cost, and the amount of leverage that you are using, and the profit loss and profit loss in percentage. Now you can also see all closed positions will appear under the closed positions part. Under the trades tab, you can see all the trades that you have done, like all cryptocurrencies that you have bought or sold on your Kraken account. You can see the time that they have been executed, the order type, if it's a market or a limit order, if it's a buy or a sell, the trading pair, the price, the volume, and how much money used in each trade. In this section, you will learn how to buy and sell cryptocurrencies using the simple interface on Kraken. More precisely, you will be learning how to buy Bitcoin using Euro. So in the last video, we deposited some money onto our account. If you scroll down, you will see the amount that you have added under balances. In my case, I have €100 and 16 cents that I can use to buy Bitcoin. To buy and sell cryptocurrencies, I can click on a trade in the menu. And here I have a drop down. At the moment, it's on XBT Euro. This is called a trading pair. XBT stands for Bitcoin, and this is the Bitcoin Euro trading pair. If I click on the drop down, I've got many different trading pairs I can select. Here I've got Bitcoin US dollars, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and many other ones that you can choose to buy, but we will be sticking with Bitcoin Euro trading pair. Now make sure you have selected buy, and I recommend as a beginner to just stick to market order. So the difference between market order and limit order is the following. With a market order, you're buying at the current price of Bitcoin. So in this case, it would be 8,035 euro. And with a limit order, you can actually type in the price that you'd like to buy Bitcoin for. So you can set a lower price for Bitcoin. And if the market reaches that price point, so for example, 8,000 euro, then your order will be executed. However, if you want to buy some Bitcoin instantly, then I recommend using the market order. So click on market, and here in the input field next to XBT, you can select the amount of Bitcoin that you'd like to buy. Let's see, if we type in some numbers, you will see how much it costs. So I have typed 0.01245 Bitcoin, which amounts to a total of 100 euro, and that's at the price of 8,035 euro 20 cents per Bitcoin. If I'm happy with this order, I can click on the buy XBT with euro. At later stages, you can also check the skip order confirmations if you don't want to have an order confirmation afterwards, but I will leave it unchecked in this case. So I click on buy. I have the order details, the type, market order, the amount that I will be spending, 100 euro, and the Bitcoin to receive. Since it's below 0.0, it will be marked as 0.0, but the amount is 0.01245. I'm happy with this. I click on submit order. My order has been successfully created, and I can view it by clicking on this link. And I will have the order summary with all the information. And I can see the summary as well here below and how much it cost to buy 0.01245 Bitcoin. Now, to sell Bitcoin using the same method, you can just click on either trade if you just signed in to Kraken, or you can click on new order. And instead of having buy, you will click on sell, and then you can sell the amount of Bitcoin that you have. In my case, I can see the balance on the top right hand side of my screen. Here on the balances, I have 0.01243 Bitcoin. Now it removed a little bit of Bitcoin due to the fees that I have to pay for each trade I make. A market order has a bit higher fees than a limit order. Now when I want to sell, let's sell using a limit order. I will add the amount of Bitcoin that I would like to sell, 0.01243. The price, I can add it a little bit higher. So I could say I would like to sell at 8,042, or let's say 41, because I want to make sure that it gets executed. And that will mean I receive 99.9495 euro. I'm happy with this. I click on sell Bitcoin. So XBT for euro. I have the order confirmation. That's how much euro I would receive, 99.9. I can click on submit order. So my order has been successfully created. However, it's still not fulfilled since we created a limit order. And a limit order takes sometimes a few minutes or hours to fulfill, but it's also possible that it is not fulfilled if the market doesn't reach that price point. If the order is not fulfilled, then what you can do is just click on this X to cancel the order. And you can go back to new order and create a new order. Now, if you want to sell Bitcoin at the market price, just click on market. You can select the amount of Bitcoin that you would like to sell. It will tell you the price, the amount that you will receive, and you just need to click on sell XBT for euro. I will receive the order details with all the information. I'm happy with that. I can click on submit order. I have now successfully sold my Bitcoin for euro. I can click on the order link and I get all the order information in the order summary. In the next lesson, you will learn how to buy and sell Bitcoin with the intermediate interface. In this section, you learn how to buy and sell cryptocurrencies using the intermediate interface on the Kraken. So log into your Kraken account, click on a trade, and click on intermediate, and that will open up the intermediate interface. There are a few differences between the simple and the intermediate interface. The layout is a little bit different and you've got a little bit more options. So under order, you can select if you want to buy or sell cryptocurrencies. And here you have a drop down. At the moment it's at XBT Euro, and you can select which cryptocurrency you would like to buy or sell. And we would just use XBT Euro for this example. Under amount, you can select how much Bitcoin you'd like to buy. So in our case, we will select 0.006. And under order type, we can select if we like to use a market order. That means buying at the current price of Bitcoin, which would be €8,114 and 50 cents. Or we can select a limit order. Since we already looked at market order in the simple interface, we will use limit order. And for the limit order, I will select a price of 8,105. It's a bit lower than the current price of Bitcoin. Now you have to be aware of when selecting the limit order, it is also possible that the price of Bitcoin never reaches your limit order price. So make sure you don't select it too low, otherwise your order will never be fulfilled. If the price of Bitcoin is rising fast, then it might be better to use a market order and just buy at the current price. Now under total, you will see the current price of your order. What you can also do, and this is a little bit different than with the simple interface, you can type in here the amount of money you'd like to use in this transaction. So I can say I'd like to spend €50 in this transaction, and automatically the amount of Bitcoin I will receive in this transaction is changed under amount. Now on the right hand side, you've got the leverage option. You can trade with a leverage. If you're not aware what leverage and margin trading is, then I highly recommend that you just use none. Select the none option, as that is the default. If you are aware of how leverage trading works and you are aware of the risks involved in leverage trading, you know that you can get liquidated, feel free to use the leverage positions 2x, 3x, 4x and 5x. If you don't really know what leverage means, then just keep it on none. For the start, when this transaction should start, the default is now, but you can also select a custom date and time for when this transaction should be added onto Kraken. Now we would like to use now for this order. And for the expiration date of this order, good until cancelled means that this order will be active until it either gets fulfilled or we cancel this order. But you've got many different other options. You can say good this day. That means this order will only be on Kraken today. Or good this week, good this month, or you can also select a custom date, maybe 3 months from now. But for this example, I would like to have good until cancelled. And for the fee currency, you can select to pay the fee either in Bitcoin or in Euro. Since we only have Euro on our account, we will keep it at Euro. But if you've got Bitcoin and Euro on your account, you can select one or the other. Now here, you can check this for the post limit order. And if you're happy with everything, with the price, we quick double check the price of Bitcoin at the moment. It's at 8,110. We're happy with that. We click on buy XBT with Euro. I will get an order detail page telling me all the information about my order. I'm happy about that. I look at the price again just to make sure that I've got everything correct, and I will submit my order. This green box says that the order has been successfully created. It doesn't mean that it's been fulfilled, it's only created. I can either click on this link to view my order or click on the blue box to view my order. I'll click on the link. So this is all the information on my order. After clicking on the orders tab, I can see new and open orders. I have a buy limit order for the trading pair XBT Euro. The price is 8,105. And the volume, how much I'd like to buy, is 0.00617. The status is untouched. That means that my order is still there. It's not fulfilled yet. I will have to wait a few minutes, maybe an hour or a few days for the price to reach this order. But it is also possible that the price never touches this order and it remains open for a long time. So be aware, if you choose a price that is too low for your limit order, it's possible that the market never reaches this price. In the next section, we will look at the advanced interface. In this section, we will look at the advanced interface. Click on trade and then click on advanced. There are quite a few differences between the intermediate interface and advanced interface. Like before, you can also buy and sell under order. You can change the trading pair that you'd like to use. You can select the amount of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency that you'd like to buy. Under order type, you can select limit order, market order, stop loss, take profit, or settle position. Now, if you're a beginner trader, I highly recommend that you use limit or market order. We looked at these two order types in the previous videos. If you're a little bit more advanced user and you understand leverage trading, then you can use the stop loss, take profit, and settle position options. Now, if I change between limit and market order, the next label will change name. So with the limit order, you can see the label is limit price. If I select market order, the next label is price. And if I select stop loss or take profit or settle position, then it will also change name. It will change to stop price with stop loss selected. But let's switch back to limit order and now explain to you what positive and negative offset means. So if you hover over the plus, you see it says positive offset from market price. What does that mean? So if I input 100 euro into this field with a positive offset from the price, that means I can buy when the price is 100 euros higher than the current price. If I select negative offset, then I will be buying when the price drops 100 euro or the amount that I've selected in this field. What I can also do is select the percentage, and with the percentage I can determine how much I'd like to sell or buy the cryptocurrency for. So I'd like to sell it for 10% more than the current price or 10% less than the current price. So if I've got a negative offset, that means it will be 10% less than the current price. If I choose positive offset from the price, that means I will be buying or selling at a 10% increase in price. On the right hand side, we've got the leverage. As I mentioned before, this is just for experienced traders that want to use 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x leverage. That means if you've got 100 euro on your account and you select a 2x leverage, you're going to be buying or selling Bitcoin for 200 euro. The advantage of opening a leverage position is that you can short the market. So that means you would sell Bitcoin for 2x or 5x leverage. But if you're shorting the market and the Bitcoin price goes up a certain percentage, it is also possible that your account gets liquidated. The other elements we've already looked at with the beginning date, the expiration date, the fee currency, and the checkbox that you have to tick post limit order. There's an additional section in the advanced interface. You can add a conditional close, and that means if you open a position, it can be either a buy or sell position. You can say that you'd like to close this position based on a few criteria. Now, as with the primary order, the conditional close, you can add an order type. So default is none. That means there's no conditional close, but you can also say you'd like to have a market order. That means it sells at the current price of the market. If the criteria is met, you can also select limit order, stop loss, take profit, and settle position. Now with the limit order, you can also determine that you'd like to have either a positive offset or a negative offset, or also at a certain price, and this either in euro or in percentage. We've seen that here before. So what you can say is if the price drops to maybe 7,000 euro, at the moment we've got 8,830 euro, and you want to limit your risk, you can say, okay, I want to set a limit order, and I can say, all right, when the price is equal to 7,000 euro, it will close my order with a limit order. I can also say market order, then it would just sell at that price, but with a market order, not a limit order. Now with a stop loss, this is for if you're using a leverage position. It's the same way. The stop price, you can have positive, equal, or negative offset. And this, with a take profit, and with the settle position, it's both the same. I've never used settle position for my investing, and for my normal investing, I always use market or limit order, but not with the conditional close. I rarely use the conditional close for my investment positions. If you'd like to export all your trades from your Kraken account, it might be for tax purposes or maybe for other reasons, then you can head over to the history in the menu, click on export, and then here you can select what you'd like to export. You can select trades or ledgers. Let's choose trades. You can select time frame from which date to which date you'd like to export your trades. Then you can also select every type of Below the trade, you have many different checkboxes where you can add which columns you'd like to have in your export. You can have the order transaction, the time, the order type, price, cost, fee, volume, margin, other information, and the ledgers. So I typically click on select all. I click on submit. That's all the trades that I have performed. And I will receive a CSV file with the type, the format is a CSV, the date range that I selected, and the status. It will take probably a few minutes until this is performed. As soon as you submit a request, as soon as you submit an export request, it will appear under requests. Now, depending on how many trades you have on your Kraken account, it can take a few minutes or a few hours to perform this request. So maybe check in a few hours later or the next day and you will see your trade export requests available. As soon as you've submitted your export data request, you will see your request under the requests with all the information such as type, format, date range, when it was submitted, the status, and expiration. Now, depending on how many trades you have done on your Kraken account, it might take a while until this request is fulfilled. I'll come back to you as soon as the request is fulfilled and I'll show you the next steps. So my export data request with all my trades has been fulfilled as a CSV file. The expiration date is the date where this file gets deleted, and I have the possibility to download this file to my computer. So I just need to click on download, and this file will be downloaded as a zip folder. This folder can be extracted and imported into either tax software or imported into Google Sheets or Excel. In this section, you will learn how to look at the prices of the market and set alerts so that you can be notified when the price of an asset reaches a certain point. I think this is a fantastic way to be able to buy the dip and maybe also sell at a certain price level in the profit. When you're on your Kraken account, click on prices and then click on advanced markets view. Under assets, you can select either the different cryptocurrencies or even fiat currencies and stable coins that you like to show. So you can show Bitcoin, ETH, many different cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies. Under quotes, you can select which fiat currencies and stablecoins you'd like to show. So you can say, I would like to see all the trading pairs with US dollar. I would like to show all the trading pairs with euro or British pounds. If you prefer to have a different color scheme, you can click on the cogwheel and you can change the theme. There are many different themes available. You can have a much lighter theme, for example, blueprint, and a very, very light theme, maybe like e-paper, or you can have a dark theme that we just had, like the Kraken Dark. You can also change many different other things. You can also change many different other options, such as the language settings, the market types, the price meter, additional data. Now for the alerts, you just have to click on this little loudspeaker and you can click on create alerts. This will open this pop-up and you can search for a trading pair. For example, let's search for BTC Euro. And you can click on this one. And you can determine if you'd like to set an alert for the price or for the volume. I'm going to set an alert for the price, and I like to have an alert when the price drops to 7,000 euro and the sound is on, and I will just click on save this alert. This alert has been added below the create alerts button and I can view it. I can then also click on create alerts again and create another alert. In this section, I'll show you how you can send your Bitcoin to an external Bitcoin wallet. This also works for many different other cryptocurrencies using the same steps. So I have bought some Bitcoin on my Kraken account. I can scroll down and I can see this Bitcoin is available. I have 0.0119 Bitcoin and I bought it at the price of 8,857. And here you see these three little dots next to the value. I can click on these three little dots and I can click on withdraw. The Bitcoin withdrawal window opens with some information such as security. We strongly recommend that you copy and paste address to help avoid errors. Don't exceed your daily or monthly funding limits. If you exceed your limits, your account will be frozen until you can get verified for higher limits. This is very important. So the first step you have to do is add a Bitcoin address. Make sure it's a Bitcoin address and not another cryptocurrency address. If you use another cryptocurrency's address, your funds will be lost. So make sure you're using a Bitcoin address. If you've got a Bitcoin wallet on your phone, copy that address and add it under addresses. So click on add address, give in a description. I'll say address 1. Paste your address in the Bitcoin address field and click on save address. a red warning appears. The withdrawal address needs to be confirmed. An email with approval instructions has been sent to you. The link in the email expires in 1 hour. So I'll head over to my email account, I'll confirm this link, and I'll come back to this tab. So I have successfully confirmed this new Bitcoin address, and I have refreshed the Kraken page. And now under addresses, I get a drop down box. I can click on it and I can select the address that I just added. I quickly double check that this is a correct address. I make sure that the first 4 letters and numbers are correct, and I look a little bit in the middle and I look a little bit at the end and compare with my other Bitcoin wallet's address. I click on this when I'm happy. Now for the amount, I can either type it in manually. I can either say I would like to withdraw 0.007 if I've got this amount. What I can also do is under minimum, I can just click on this minimum link, or I can click on the maximum link, and this will add the maximum available Bitcoin that I have on my Kraken account to the withdrawal amount. The fee that I'll have to pay is 0.0005. So I'm happy with this, and I can click on review withdrawal. I'm happy with that. I check the address that is correct. I check the amount, I check the fee, and this is the withdrawal net total is the amount that I will receive in my Bitcoin wallet address. So I click on confirm withdrawal and withdrawal, and this is the order number has successfully been submitted. Now this might take a few minutes to transfer to my Bitcoin address. Click on view withdrawals and you'll be brought to the account balances page. Scroll all the way down and you can see under funding transactions, the Bitcoin withdrawal that I have performed. And here's the ID of this withdrawal. And under status, if there's a little green checkbox, that means it has been successful. So you have to wait a few minutes for this to go through. Not your keys, not your coins. An explanation of why it's super important to keep your cryptocurrency off of centralized exchanges and store them either on a software wallet or a hardware wallet. It's okay to buy some cryptocurrency using a centralized exchange, but do not leave large amounts of money on a centralized exchange. Here are some very important do's and don'ts for the cryptocurrency space. For example, keep your private keys in one or several safe places. Use two-factor authentication when setting up your Kraken account. Start with small amounts and do not invest more than you can afford to lose. And last but not least, use a hardware wallet to save your cryptocurrency. Do not leave it on a centralized exchange. Hardware wallet, you can either use a ledger or a Trezor. Now, what you must not do is don't expect to be rich overnight. Don't expect to be rich overnight. Do not invest more than you're willing to lose, and don't keep your cryptocurrency on centralized exchanges. Don't trust strangers that are willing to help you, and don't participate in cryptocurrency giveaways because very often they are scams. With this image, I just want to highlight the risks of what can happen if you keep your money on centralized exchanges. This is the biggest cryptocurrency hacks and scams, and many of these hacks happen to centralized exchanges. The most famous one, which happened in 2014, was the Mt. Gox, where $450 million of Bitcoin was stolen. But there's been other big hacks, such as the CoinCheck hack, $400 million sometime in 2018. And there's a few. So it's very important to keep your coins off of centralized exchanges. Make sure that you have the ownership of the private keys. If you have any questions concerning security, hardware wallets, feel free to leave it down in the comment section. Thanks a lot for participating in this course. I hope you learned a lot about Bitcoin, about how to buy and sell on a Kraken, and also about security and being safe in the cryptocurrency space. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them and I'll be glad to help you. Thanks a lot again for taking this course, and hopefully I'll see you in another course. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye-bye.